we have one last special guest, and we saved the best for last. Is a gentleman that I have known for many years, and he has been somebody I think I've known since, I believe, elementary school, maybe grade 3, grade 4, very, very long time. And him and I were on a phone call a couple weeks ago. And he said, Nadine, I have something I'd like to share with you. And he shared something. He read this poem to me. And I'd never been so touched. Like, I was very touched. It says Faye earlier on, if it was you were here at the beginning of our global movement launch today, shared her poems that she had written on hope and on her mind and on the cardinals that she saw. And you have to go back and you can listen to it over and over. This poem touched my heart. And I asked John Thauberger if he would share this, and otherwise AKA known as Burger. We call him Burger, but I just had to ask him to come on and share this because he's an incredibly heartfelt individual who is doing amazing things in this world, and just has, ever since I've known him, has just had this tremendous open heart for everybody he meets, and just shows up so authentically and transparent with everything he does, so vulnerable in the way that he is in this world. And it's just a true honor to know him and to have him as somebody that I've known for so long and that I'm still in context and friends with. So as I bring John to the stage, I just want to welcome you today, Mr. John Thauberger. It is great to have you here. Thank you so much for your entire patience of being here the entire time, to wait to the very end to share this amazing, I promise everybody it is worth the wait. So welcome today. Thank you for being here. If you want to share any words of wisdom before you read the poem, the stage is all yours.
Well, thank you, Nadine. The poem, it's about hope and inspiration, and it's written by my favorite poet. He's a Canadian poet and songwriter, Shane Poisan, and it's absolutely amazing. And I would like to share it with you now. This is my voice. There are many like it, but this one is mine. And it's a fine line when you try and define the finer points in politics. Politics being a Latin word, poly meaning many, ticks meaning blood-sucking butt lumps. You see, too many live in countries where it's bullets instead of ballots, where gavels fall like mallets when held in the hands of those whose judgments can be bought as easily as children can be taught to covet. And the only ones willing to speak up are forced to live so far beneath the radar that the underground is considered above it. This is for the Ho Chi Minhs and the Michael Collins, the Marquis de Sade's and the muted gods. This is my voice. There are many like it, but this one is mine. And this time it's for the sons and daughters who watch mothers and fathers drown in shallow waters while panning for the American dream in a polluted creek called Mainstream. This is for the homeless people sleeping on steam vents, making makeshift tents out of cardboard and old trash, trying to catch 40 winks in between the crash of car wrecks, risking their necks by surviving another day so they can starve, so that famine can carve their body into a corpse before their heart stops beating, so that men at a boardroom meeting can make it harder for them to get welfare, health care. It's no wonder some of them pawn off their own wheelchair. And every time I walk them by, I can't help but feel at fault that maybe I didn't search myself hard enough to Control-Alt-S so I could save the world, or at least this little girl curled up into a ball. I've spent most of my life throwing compassion back like a fish that's too small. Got to cash in my reality checks, drop her some spare fantasies, because I've got 3 separate degrees from different universities, but the most valuable thing I ever learned was to believe people when they say please. This is my voice. There are many like it, but this one is mine. And don't tell me there are no heroes. This is for them, the women and the men, for Helen Keller, who against all odds found the voice for the choice Veronica Guerin made, for Martin Luther King, who stayed just long enough to share a dream with us. This is for that day on the bus with Sister Rosa Parks. This is for the Joan of Arcs, who believe even in the face of sparks becoming flames. This is for the political game that Louis Riel refused to play. This is for the day the Dalai Lama finally goes home. For Dr. Jeffrey Wigand, who alone stared down big tobacco. For Nelson Mandela, who continued to go the extra mile. This is for the trial that finally found a man guilty of shooting Medgar Evers dead. This is for everything Malcolm X said, remembered by athletes who left the Olympics double fisted, for Arthur Miller blacklisted for calling a witch hunt what it was, for Galileo locked up because he said the earth was round, for the Two Live crew who found the sound that got them banned in the USA. And imagine if we could still hear John Lennon play. This is for the someone who stood up today and said no. For Edward R. Murrow, who shut down McCarthy. This is for Salman Rushdie, Mahatma Gandhi, you, me, this city, this country. We will always have a choice. When you stand up to be counted, tell the world, this is my voice. There are many like it, but this one is mine. Thank you.
Boom, boom, boom. Wow. That's amazing. Thank you so much for that. What a beautiful poem. And just so much. The thing I loved about that poem when you first shared it with me was just the truth that's in it, right? There's just so much heart and truth that went in writing that poem. And when you read it, I could just feel, you know, your heart, and as if you were the person who wrote the poem that's now coming through. And it's coming alive through your voice and through. And this is why this is so important for me, because the global movement is about truth. It's about hope. It's about speaking with our voice, right? And shining as bright as we can out into the world to make that difference, to inspire people to also do the same, to show up in their life.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Thank you so much for being here. You're appreciated. You're loved. You're valued. And you are a blessing to this world. Never forget that.
Love you too. Thank you, Nadine.
Love you. Yes.